Russians kick off their assault. They roll out one of the most terrifying weapons of this war, a flamethrower system that literally incinerates everything alive within its blast zone. In raw power, it stands just below nuclear weapons.
How is that even possible? What do you mean, raw power to nuclear weapons?
And wherever it strikes, it turns the battlefield into hell. The mission is single-minded, to take out the Ukrainian strongpoint that has long stood in the way of the Russian advance.
Oh my God.
The thermobaric munitions, falling chaotically over the Ukrainian strongpoint, consume the oxygen in the air and generate massive overpressure across the...
It's the one where it sucks all the oxygen out of your lungs and stuff. That's a scary weapon.
The impact zone. They were damn lucky, way out of the blast. Yet they still suffered concussions and nearly suffocated. Most of the troops were wiped out in the rocket blast. The overload was too much to survive. Those who survived this hell decide to fall back, knowing that after the shelling comes the cleansing of the position. For a long time, Russian command prepared to capture the stronghold, pulling in large reserves for the strike. When the artillery sweep ended, the assault force surged ahead. Motorcycles and armored personnel carriers tore toward the landing site, trying to stay clear of Ukrainian drones. The operation was carefully planned and executed with precision. It unfolded lightning fast, and Ukrainian forces couldn't react in time. They stormed the trenches, leaving no threat standing. Orders are clear, no prisoners. Take every last one out. The mortar crew positions the weapon, targeting the enemy trenches. This fire support lets infantry advance swiftly over the destroyed enemy. The advance is moving at a breakneck pace. Meanwhile, the Russian sniper circles around from the rear and takes position with a clear view of the Ukrainian retreat routes. Russian drone operators detect a Ukrainian group and pass the coordinates to the sniper, who now knows exactly where they'll appear. Cold calculation, a light touch on the trigger. Almost everyone trying to flee is cut down.
Oh man, that's sad.
A mad, ugly act that grinds up destinies with a cold, impassive face. Russian assault units have swept through most of the trenches, facing no resistance from Ukrainian defenses. The preliminary work of artillery and mortars paid off. They sweep the trenches, finishing off all cover and the wounded. Only a handful of feet remain, and the strong point is secured.
Oh man.
The soldier heard a hoarse voice from a trench. Apparently, these were wounded Ukrainian fighters who couldn't evacuate after the artillery barrage. The Russian soldier instantly pulls a grenade and throws it toward them. That was the last cry of a Ukrainian soldier.
Bastards.
The Russians move in and find the wounded fighters already finished off by the grenade. Among them, one Ukrainian soldier still held a photo of his family, gripping it tightly until the last moment. And like hyenas, they start looting everything in sight.
Of course.
Russian command sees through drone cameras a Ukrainian armored personnel carrier speeding to rescue the last handful of soldiers who got out first after the artillery strike.
The M113, that's the American donated, whatever you want to call them. Not trucks, not tanks. You tell me what they're called.
And just listen to the sarcasm in which they revel in their cruelty as they give their orders.
Пулеметчик, дай дороги! Пилот, давайте беглый, пилот! Два выбежали, три. Их там четверо было.
The RPG gunner takes aim and strikes the target precisely.
Пулеметчик, пулеметчик!
Under a storm of hits, it refuses to fall. That's the power of American steel.
Wow.
Красавчик, красавчик! Давай, давай еще! Давай, давай, пилот, пилот, вверх! Давай!
Unbelievable how tough this armor is.
That's crazy.
Еще! Они молодец!
Красавчик! Давай еще
И
скажи.
пулеметом работайте туда!
The RPG failed to break through.
Was it 3 or 4 RPGs and the thing was still intact? Now that's some American steel right there, baby.
An anti-tank guided missile comes into play.
Выстрел!
The vehicle endured 3 hits, but the
3.
4th proved fatal.
Yeah, wow.
The crew
4
is
is a
badly
lot.
concussed.
Пулеметчику огонь! Пулеметчику огонь!
Even wounded, he held on and fired his last magazine.
Пулеметчик коси!
That's so sad.
Коси, коси!
Да, прям вовнутрь.
Давай, давай!
The grenade brought the fight to an end, carrying away the hope of survival. The assault troops pushed through to the end and cleared this position entirely.
Чисто закрепился, занять оборону!
This battle went to the Russians. They seized the fortified point quickly and skillfully. In the trenches, work goes on, fortifying positions, setting camouflage nets, hauling in supplies, arranging daily life. Command ordered the destroyed armored carrier to be recovered as a trophy, so the general could showcase his brilliant planning.
Oh yeah,
As evening falls and the day's work
they got one thing, and they're gonna like brag about it forever.
on fortifications ends, soldiers sit together, talking about their lives back home. But beneath it all hides the silence of the unspoken. Tomorrow may never come. War is Russian roulette.
Yeah. Let's hope so. For them.
To retake the position, Ukraine's command has sent in one of its best brigades. The planning took more than 2 weeks. Past mistakes dissected, risks calculated. The operation
Wow.
begins in just hours. Nerves are stretched to the breaking point. Operators ready the drones for launch, checking every system. FPV, bombers, recon
All right,
craft.
get it, boys.
On standby. Command gives the green light. At dawn, a reconnaissance drone climbs into the sky to take in the battle picture. Meanwhile, 3 Russian soldiers grab their ammunition and head out to rotate into the previously captured position. Operators spot their motorcycle and launch an FPV drone to
Oh, yeah.
intercept. These men showed up at the wrong time
I'm sorry.
and launch an FPV drone to intercept. These men showed up
Look at the size of this explosive compared to the size of the drone. And it still carries it, and it still get to where it needs to get, and it will do its job. That's crazy.
at the wrong time,
Amazing.
and soon
I always think that's the charge, explosive charge from the RPG-7 or something, right? Could be wrong.
they will realize it. The target is locked, closing fast. The Russians are stunned the moment
Oh
they
my
see
God.
the drone.
Good night.
They're horrified. Without transport in the kill zone, survival is almost impossible. Soldiers drag a wounded comrade into the brush, but his wounds are fatal. There is no way back. The route is nearly complete. Along the tree line, the movement is still relatively safe, but ahead lies open ground, and the last mile may be the hardest one. The wind howls across the field, but breaking through it is the insistent hum of a drone.
Закат, слышу птицу. Наша птица.
Nope.
Есть, увидел.
Ангел мой, будь со мной. Ты впереди, а за тобой. Ангел мой, будь со мной. Ты впереди.
Yeah, well, that usually doesn't help. You know when you drink too much alcohol and then you throwing up in the bathroom, hugging the toilet, and you pray to God that you'll never drink again if you make you feel better. You drink again, and then you feel like shit again, and then you pray again. I don't think it works.
Я за тобой. Ангел мой, будь со мной. Ты впереди. Поддержите огнем.
He realizes the Ukrainian bomber drone is hanging right above him. Fighting panic, he raises his weapon and tries to bring it down.
Don't take cover.
2 grenades dropped by the drone, meant to detonate on impact, failed due to the soft ground. The mortar crew opens fire. It's impossible to imagine the horror they feel right now.
Wow.
The FPV attacks him but fails to strike, detonating close by.
Damn.
It looks
That should be enough to have some shrapnel go into his body. I would think so.
like his prayer did not go unanswered.
Yeah.
Дежурный, мы повторяем или ждем цель?
Ждем цель.
Чешется шея.
Вам почесать, Вики?
Почеши.
Stunned by the FPV blast, the soldier desperately tries to down the bomber drone over his comrade.
Боец стоит на месте. Возле него хлопок. Он стоит дальше.
Under the strain of what unfolds, his psyche cracks. Resigned to his fate, he moves forward as if on autopilot. The Ukrainians notice one soldier doesn't resist at all. The FPV operator sends the drone skyward, and it races dead toward the chosen target.
And that's it. Wow.
Meanwhile, the second soldier stands firm, refusing to yield.
Поднимайся.
Through impact grenades exploding around him, he runs to the wounded but knows he can't be saved. He sprints on, blasts, ripping just feet away.
Isn't it amazing we're getting both video shots from both sides of this specific event that has happened?
Передок. Вок.
His voice carries the weight of exhaustion. He can no longer keep running.
Oh, something fell.
Упала кассетка. Не разорвалась.
Exhausted and wounded after drone attacks, he barely reaches the tree line, calling for help on the radio.
Куда двигаться?
He calls out, but there is only silence.
Товарищи, он заходит на меня. Жека, что там, встречаем?
Да, говори запись.
Drained, he clings to the tree as if seeking support. But command stays silent. They have already written him off. The drone slowly approaches its target and detonates. This is the harsh
night.
reality of modern war.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the ground operation has just begun. After reconnaissance and drone strikes, the artillery joins the fight.
M109A6 Paladin. Is that American or is that German?
Artillery crews methodically pound enemy trenches,
Wow.
wiping out infantry and setting the stage for the landing. The Bradley's engine roars to life.
Bradley's.
The commander orders the troops to load in. The assault team jumps in, exchanging glances and words of encouragement before the fight. Knowing the artillery strike is only the prelude to an assault, the Russian command launches a recon drone.
Внимание, подготовка к пуску. Пуск по готовности, разрешаю.
Operators scour every sector, eyes fixed on the screens, trying
Look at this. These are the true veterans of today's day and age of warfare. You see this? He picked this up at Goodwill. I don't know if, obviously Ukraine doesn't have Goodwill, but you know what I mean. For $3.99 at Goodwill, and we're ready to rock and roll, baby.
to predict where the strike will come from. They spot a Bradley moving toward their positions. The operator quickly relays the
Those things are
coordinates to the
beautiful.
anti-tank crew, the same one that destroyed the evacuation vehicle earlier. They react instantly, loading the launcher into the pickup bed and moving out to the firing position. At the ambush site, they quickly deploy the anti-tank guided missile system. Everything's ready. Now, they wait for the Bradley. The operators spot the target on the horizon and open fire. The missile slams into the Bradley side, but it keeps rolling.
Wow.
Inside, a heavy thud and a shake. That's the power of American armor.
That's good.
The Bradley doesn't stop. It charges toward the landing zone, laying down fire on enemy positions.
Nice.
The Russians are in shock at the speed of the breakthrough. Their infantry hugs the ground as the Bradley's 25mm cannon tears through everything in its path. The Bradley's mission is complete. The ramp lowers. Soldiers rush out, scanning the battlefield, seeing how the artillery has torn up the trenches before jumping straight into the enemy lines.
Get in there, yeah. It's not a parade. I like how they made this little half pipe plastic cutout for their cover. It's gonna really protect you, huh?
Гранату туда, Цинку. Давай, Светайся, выйди. Ты закидываешь гранату? Граната!
Good old AK, huh? You can't go wrong with AK-47.
Сдавайся, боёб!
The assault on the trenches, where men come face to face with hell itself.
Сюда, один. Граната! Фу!
It looks like it's a little hot out there, summertime or something. Wearing all that gear. Sweating tits.
Як я його не заїбасив! Сука! Там блядь! Як я його не заїбасив!
He's mad.
Він гер! Тому, блядь, 2 метри від нас!
The enemy is so close, their voices are louder than bullets.
Присядь! Блядь, під низом, сука, во! Через 2 метри від нас! Следующий укоп! Каже, свої, блядь, до мене, свої, блядь, туди, блядь!
He thinks it's
The
one
Russian
of
command
theirs.
deploys snipers to disrupt the advance of Ukrainian assault troops from a safe distance. They quickly take position and select a target for the attack.
Да, все принял. Беру левого. Как принял?
The snipers act with cold professionalism, taking down the assault trooper.
Дивись, десь діти снайпер.
Да, принял. Уходим.
After engaging the target, the snipers change position. The assault troops have realized who's firing at them. Coordinates are relayed from the trenches. The mortar crew reacts instantly. Rounds fired at the suspected sniper position.
Постріл.
The mortar explodes nearby, just a few feet away. But by some miracle, they survive.
Давай.
The snipers stay in the fight, taking up a more favorable position.
Туди далі рухаємося.
Oh man, it's one of theirs.
He was beside you moments ago.
No, he's
Now
not.
you step over him and press on.
Wow.
Emotions are set aside. One task remains. Destroy the enemy.
Наліво ми не
That's some
дочистили,
dark
направо
stuff,
теж.
right?
Давай наліво зараз. Туди гранату прокинь, да. Вліво. Граната! Я пустий, перезарядка. Блядь.
Russian drones lift into the sky to see what's happening in the trenches. The Ukrainians move forward like a bulldozer, crushing everything in their path. FPV drones take off one after another, heading into the trench carnage to suppress the Ukrainian assault. Snipers take up favorable positions, waiting for the drones to draw the enemy's attention away. These drones, are the only chance to hold the assault until the tanks and artillery arrive.
Швидше, братан, не затримуйся так.
The buzzing sound of rotors is already echoing above the trenches.
FPV-шка.
Oh, great.
Давай дальше двигайся, мы в опасной зоне. FPV-шка!
One drone was taken down, but they don't know that a whole swarm is already heading their way.
А? И FPV не видите, нормально можно сесть.
The crazy thing is that back before these little tiny drones, all they had to worry about is trench warfare, right? Just, oh, there's a guy over there, there's a guy over there, there's a grenade over here. But now you're not just worried about the trench warfare and there's, you know, enemies right next to you, but you're also worried about the sky, the little drones that you can't see coming. And that's just too stimulating. That's a lot.
Привет, там где калаши. Мы пока закрепили тут. Сейчас. Чисто. Ми дійшли з скандалом до правого тупіка. Тут закріпились. Як прийняв?
Those kids are so young.
Венгер, Настя, чув снайпера роботу. Тут велика стрілкотня йде.
The moment he reported the situation over the radio, a Russian
Oh my
FPV
God.
drone flew straight into their trench.
Братан! Что у тебя? Спокойно, турникет. Турникет где?
Есть, вот.
Вижу. Братан, нормально.
He lost his hand.
Что-то еще болит, кроме руки?
Нога. Нога.
Где второй турникет?
Вот здесь вот. Вот.
Нет, он слепотил. Где первый? Первый.
Вот.
Плюс. Что-то еще болит или нет?
Я не знаю, вроде все.
Состояние стабильное. Кровотечение остановлено.
Сука.
У тебя 2 турникета всего?
4.
Wow, this guy has some
Я постараюсь сам доскакать.
badass pain tolerance.
Тяжело, бля, двигаться даже с тампонадой.
The Russians, realizing they are losing their position, send in 2 turtle tanks as reinforcements. The Ukrainian drone operators were already prepared for such a scenario. The first turtle tank was immobilized by a hit to the driver's hatch. The second tank nearly reached the position, but the FPV drones
Oh my
turned
God.
the tide of the battle. As you can see, the first drone missed its mark and failed to penetrate the turtle tank's armor. However, the second drone directly hits the ammo. Oh! The threat has been neutralized and the assault continues.
Do you think those guys are inside survived?
Ти рухаєшся зараз з Даяною на Педро. Заходите, забираєте 300-х.
Забираємо чи забирає він?
Забирає,
Oh, wow.
ти залишаєшся там.
There's a girl in
Все,
there.
взяла воду і цинк. І собі БК.
The number of wounded on the Ukrainian side keeps growing.
Все, побежали.
Там єс.
Oh my God, those bullets are whizzing
Пішли.
right
The
there.
assault drags on. The Ukrainians cleared more than half, but now they're stuck. A swarm of drones keeps pressing them, not giving them a single breath.
Це я. Ми цинк принесли.
Плюс, ми вже в окопах.
Лови.
Где 300-е? Сзади. Давай.
Oh my God.
Що, я зроблю?
Даяна помог.
The medic checks the soldier. Seems
Oh,
like
she's
nothing
the
critical.
medic.
Все рано штанішки підуть.
Да, де вона? О, і одна зверху, бачиш?
Дайте.
Мала, ховай.
Тільки ховайся.
Давай, маленький, давай. Давай, Гарик, я крию.
It was heading straight for them.
That's some
But they were
badass
ready.
girls, huh?
While Ukrainians are fighting off drones in the trenches, Russian artillery arrives to support its troops. It locks on target, unloads its ammunition into the designated grid, and quickly leaves the position to avoid Ukrainian counter-battery fire and strike drones. Heavy shelling and drone raids, they're still holding, waiting for their own drones to join in.
Всі цілі.
Да.
Все. Працюємо.
Gotta check on everybody after that explosion. It's just wild. I can't, like, we can't hear it through the headphones. I can't, but how loud that explosion is when you're right next to it, I can't imagine. Like, imagine how loud gunshots are next to you, right? In real life. You've been in a gun shooting range or whatever. But that kind of explosion, jeez.
Поки немає чим заряджатись, то я піду до 300.
Братуха, не треба сюди дивитися, блядь. Дивись туди, пожалуйста.
Повернися, перевірю. Легенда, того кровотечі нема. Все.
And here comes the support, a swarm of Ukrainian drones buzzing over the Russian troops.
He was fine.
Просто зоопарк нахуй літаючий. Просто
That's funny.
які хочеш FPV.
Ukrainian drone pilots, gods of their craft.
Right.
They hit the Russians even where no drone should have made it through.
Це наші працювали?
Да. Плюс-плюс. Ми цілі, плюс-плюс. Яка обстановка, що відбувається, де пі... Давай попробуємо такий. Пошли.
As soon as the enemy artillery falls silent, they move out to clear the last sector. They fire into the burrow where the radio crackled. Looking inside, he sees a body torn apart by a drone.
Well, I guess it's good that it's all censored, right?
Вони сіпалися тут.
There were 3 in the hole. One ran for the open field. Another vanished into the next.
Убил! Убил! Хорош. Заебался? Живой был.
А-22-31. Заряд штатный, прицел.
По готовности 1 снаряд, огонь.
The artillery crew is ordered to hold the Ukrainians, to buy time for the rest of their troops to fall back and avoid capture.
Откат, давай. Пока дым, давай.
Artillery pounds the ground, forcing the assault troops to crawl for cover. But the Ukrainian drone pilots, they won't let anyone go.
Good. Here's another one.
After the artillery falls silent, they move in to clear the last trench.
Чисто. Чисто? Да. Все, це конец? Да.
Кибер, окоп зачищений.
The assault troops have retaken the strong point and report that the area is clear. Drone operators are pursuing the Russian soldiers who tried to flee. They had nowhere to run, caught in the open. In modern warfare, an open field is a death sentence.
Yes, it is.
The operators carry out their duties with cold precision.
Shorts on.
This is an enemy who came to their land to kill.
That's right.
And therefore must be neutralized.
Absolutely.
Those Russians had a chance to lay down arms in the trenches, but they chose another path. Some soldiers retreating jumped onto motorcycles, thinking it would save them and get them out of the kill zone faster. But they can't. Ukrainian drone pilots strike them down with precision.
One
Some got
crashed.
lucky. They abandoned their motorcycles and ran on. The Ukrainians leave no chances even to abandoned equipment. Everything is burned. The survivors find a shattered building and descend into its basement, the only place left to hide from the drones. They call for an evacuation vehicle and wait for nightfall, hoping to leave under the cover of darkness. Before dusk could fall, an armored personnel carrier arrived at sunset. The infantry boarded up. It seemed they were finally safe. Knowing a group of Russian soldiers was hiding, waiting for extraction, the
Oleg.
Ukrainians launched their drones, sweeping every field in search of the vehicle. An armored carrier packed with infantry. That's them for sure. The Russians fire from every weapon trying to bring down the drone, but it's useless. The vehicle's hit and burning.
Wow.
They leap from the burning carrier, desperate to stay alive, knowing a swarm of Ukrainian drones is already closing in. The armored vehicle is caught. Drones hit it one after another, tearing it apart piece by piece. Like a ghost, it keeps rolling. No crew, no control, just metal rolling toward its end.
Wow.
The enemy's wiped out. The Russians left many behind on the field. Under the cover of night, a Bradley rolls into the captured position, dropping off supplies and ammo, pulling out the wounded and the fallen. The price paid for this stronghold, human lives torn from their paths and broken by war. Despite the propaganda, hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians have already given their lives defending their land. Each of them became part of a story written in blood. Let this film be a reminder of the price the Ukrainian people pay in the resistance against Russian aggression. It's the story of a people who chose not to surrender, even when the world grew tired of watching. If you want more episodes, please like and leave comments.
That's crazy sad.
This will be a
right
great
there.
incentive to release a new video. See you soon.
That's one of the saddest video I have seen, and I know that certain footage from this whole video was not all connected. It's different scenes from different days and different months, and all got put together into this kind of almost like a documentary slash, I don't know, story that kind of tells you about this whole thing, right? This war, and it's very sad. It's yeah, don't let there's a lot of casualties on both sides, you know. Obviously the Ukrainians are going to hide their casualties because they have to keep that under, and you know, obviously there is more Russian casualties because they're the ones who's on the offense, so they take more casualties, and that's just the price you pay. Also, obviously, you know, it's their fault. It's Russia's fault that they're losing 3-4 times more of their soldiers or people. They could have avoided the whole thing if they just stayed home, right? But yeah, this is, like I said, one of the saddest videos I've seen in a while. I almost don't even like to watch these kinds of videos, but obviously I didn't know it was going to be this sad. So anyway, yeah, check out Spartan's YouTube channel. This is very well put together. Subscribe to his channel. This is good stuff. And підпишись, це безкоштовно. Subscribe, it's free, doesn't cost you anything. And if you have any other video recommendations or things you want to say about this video, leave a comment down below, and we'll see you guys next time. До побачення.